نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. With regards to acquiring knowledge, there are many different steps one has to go through. One do not go to any website or any book unless he or she has consulted someone who she trusts as a qualified scholar. Now the question, can we take hadith from online resource? Any of the online resources? So the answer is no. None of them have been verified or tested or checked by the qualified scholars. There may be certain websites where certain scholars do look at certain things, but not all of that. And the way things are put on the media is beyond anyone's control. So you do not know who is controlling what and who is mixing and matching with what stuff. As a common man, it would be highly problematic. It's like searching for your illness and taking medicine and advice from any website. Obviously, a sensible person would never dare do that. Now, how to acquire knowledge then? The scholars themselves, the ulama, have written books for common people. So their famous 6 canonical hadith collection, Sahih Sitta we call them, the 6 most authentic books, and there are many others. Those similar scholars, those same scholars, have made a small compilation for common men as well. These major works are for high-level scholars, those who are either completing their scholarship or they've completed and doing some specialization in hadith. For common men, same scholars like Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Bukhari rahmatullah alayh, he has compiled a book called Al-Adabul Mufrad. Al-Adabul Mufrad. It's about manners. It's about things that every common man should know. So one should go and read that book. Imam Nawawi, the Muhaddith, one of the greatest of the Imams in fiqh and in hadith, he has written commentary on Sahih Muslim. He has also compiled a book called Riyadus-Salihin. That is the book for common men, for everyone, to bring hadith and sunnah in our lives. So we should go for that. There are many similar compilations. One should go and read those up, bring them in our lives. When it comes to seriously studying hadith, one has to go through a scholar. They must acquire some basic understanding of deen, because a hadith book is normally written with this in mind, that we are gathering in encyclopedic way some of the hadith on certain topics, in certain style, with certain headings, to arrive at certain rulings. So one has to have that much understanding of Arabic language, some of the basic fiqh, Quranic understanding, and overall understanding of the hadith. Now a beginner, when he starts looking at hadith and he will start reading a hadith, for example, on a topic, for him that is the only hadith on the topic available to him. But as you would know, you perhaps should know anyway, that on one topic there are several different ahadith. One has to look at all of those ahadith, their chains, and then the commentary on those, and then the fatwa or the opinions of Sahaba on those hadith or on their ruling. And that can only be done through many years worth of studying hadith or teaching hadith. So the ulama who teach hadith, they are called muhaddithun. They spend their lives about 20, 25, 30 years. Then they start teaching the major books. And then they are in a position to explain why Imam so-and-so brought that hadith in his book, while there are many other Sahih hadith on the same issue he didn't. And then he would try to explain the reasoning behind it. It doesn't give one any wrong information. It keeps them and saves them from committing a major error or mistake of judging based on that one hadith, all the other people not following that hadith. And similarly, if they find something contrary to that somewhere else in another book, they would start questioning the verification or the authenticity of this particular Imam, saying that how come he only brought this hadith? And it gives them a wrong opinion, bad opinion about the Imam, and hence he either will become arrogant, knowing that, oh, actually I know better than this Imam, na'udhu billah. And this arrogance would obviously lead him to major problems in this world and the life hereafter. Or he may have some animosity or hatred for that Imam that would lead him to the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as per the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Bukhari and Muslim, that whoever shows enmity to my beloved, my wali, my awliya, I will be at war with him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be at war with that person who has ill feeling, animosity against Allah's wali. And obviously those people or the Imams who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose to be Imams of the Ummah over the 1400-year period, be it in fiqh, in hadith, in tafsir, in Arabic grammar, in suluk, they are the chosen people. They are really very special people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserved their work until now. Millions of people have benefited from them and are still carrying on. Obviously they can't be someone, just by fluke or just without acceptance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if someone has been accepted from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then they are really chosen ones. And these are the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every believer is a wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but their status is much higher in wilayaship. They're much, much closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Than to have any animosity or anger or hatred or disappointment from them can ruin our iman, can ruin our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if Allah is at war with us, then where is the protection? Where is the safety? So that is why it is imperative that people do not go and read stuff on their own, especially the major works. It's like going through the main text without going through basic stuff. So there is no such thing as online studies of hadith or Quran or anything. It must be done through the scholarship. Now there are certain books with translation you can read, inshallah ta'ala. The two main books that we should read is Riyadus-Salihin and Al-Adab al-Mufrad. And once we have done that, we can inshallah move on to the next level gradually. May Allah give us tawfiq. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.